the Nobody's Famous podcast. All right, guys, and we're back on the Nobody's Famous podcast. We have an amazing show today. I have a very, very special guest told to me by another guest to be on this show, so I can't wait. And it's the one and the only Chris Boulos. What's up, buddy? It's a pleasure to have you.
Yo, what's up, man? Hope
Oh,
everything's good. Thank you for having me on your show.
it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you actually for joining. I want to start off by just you telling us briefly about your story, introing yourself to our audience, and then we'll take it from there.
Sure, man, sure. So my name is Chris Boulos. I'm 24 years old. I'm a track and field sprinter. I specialize in the short distance sprint. So mainly I run for 6 to 10 seconds. I train the whole year for 6 to 10 seconds. And I'm also a personal trainer in Beirut. And yeah, I work with different kind of people with different kind of targets that they want to achieve.
That's awesome, buddy. Awesome. I wanted to just give a bit of a background to the show and how we got you on. A dear friend of ours, Nader Dernaya, was the one who told me about your profile
Yes.
and he
Thank you,
was
Nader Danaya.
shout out to to Nader. And I just wanted to say thanks to him, but as well, like he told me about your story and how you were working to be part of the Olympics, and you're very driven, very motivated individual in terms of uh, your your um, your physical fitness and your workouts and how you take care of your body. So this is why I wanted to get you on the show. Let's chat about it. And yeah, I mean, I'll start with the first question. Basically, my
Sure.
first question to you is why did you choose to specialize in the 60-meter, 100-meter sprint? Like, did you realize that your body is suited to this specific segment, or is it something that it's an ambition of yours?
Yeah, man, like you can tell when you see someone who's really muscular and someone who's really skinny. Like the skinny one usually go to the endurance and run marathons. And since I was young, I was really muscular and explosive, and like I have a fast reaction and reflex. I used to play different sports before. I started sprinting at 16. I used to play taekwondo and I used to play football. And I've always been fast and quick. So my brother used to run before me, and he introduced me to his coach at the times, and he saw me like he wanted to test me. He told me like go run for 30 meter, and when I ran he was like محمس يعني. Uh, and he told me that I want to join. I told him that I want to join his team, and he started to train me. And I've continued training with him until I was 19, and then I changed clubs. I joined the club in Beirut, and now I'm with another coach. And I'm planning to participate in the Olympics. That's the optimal goal, which is a bit hard, but that's the goal.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that, but yeah, I just wanted to comment on what you said, like the fact that you realized through you being super fast that this is what it is. It's interesting that you've done all these different types of sports as well, but you chose to to
Yeah.
stick to sprinting. And somebody with your type of physique might be looking at. Have you ever thought of like mixed martial arts or to continue maybe taekwondo, something like that? Have you thought of that?
Uh, when I was young, I used to be excited. I wanted to go to higher levels in Taekwondo. I actually have a black belt in Taekwondo,
Oh, awesome.
but yeah, but now I used to be flexible. Now I'm stiff, man, like a wood. I can't even not agile that much again.
Okay, nice. Before I get into the Olympics question, because I have that. That was one of my main questions to you. I wanted to touch on some of the posts that you had on your profile. You were talking about you would post a photo of, it's like my reaction when somebody says, how's your body like this, or how did you get your body to be like that, or I don't believe that you don't take protein and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
what prompted you to post such things, or to talk about this thing?
Man, the fitness thing here in Lebanon is still new. Okay, so like people when see someone who's so shredded and muscular, uh, they judge you and they say you're on steroids. You're definitely taking something. It's not natural, and yeah, this thing bothers me a little bit because I worked so hard to be in this shape, like to be where I'm at right now. And when someone say like he's on steroids, it's like an insult, man. Man, I've been working since I was a child, man, and you're saying I'm taking some kind of potion or something.
And do you
So
think
I
like
wanted
that?
to,
Yeah, and do you think that comes out from basically a society thing of just, somebody might just not trust, or they just have this view that anyone that's working out, it's just steroids, it's just that.
yeah, I think it's a lack of knowledge and awareness about the subject. Like even if you take steroids, you have to be genetically gifted to reach this kind of like level. Like you can't just take one needle and you're gonna be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. It takes a lot of discipline and consistency.
And yeah,
This
actually that,
doesn't mean
yeah.
this doesn't mean that anyone can train, anyone can push their limits. It's not, يعني, everyone has different body shapes and body types, so you just have to be willing to work.
Yeah, I think that was another thing that I found from your post, was you said, I work hard, good genetics. And I was like, okay, what if somebody doesn't have good genetics, right? What if somebody doesn't have the right body physique? Do you think, like, because that reason to me was like, okay, fine, you work hard, that everyone can do, but I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sure it's not only good genetics, right?
Like as I said before, man, everyone has a body type. Like let's say for you, you want to train, for example. Uh, you have to accept your body as it is and try
Mhm.
to push yourself each time to get better, to increase your muscle mass, to work on your nutrition, your diet. So you have to individualize each person.
Yeah.
It's better not to compare, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people do that. They might maybe they might be looking even at your profile. They might be looking at a certain level, and they think, I'll never attain that. Do you think that uh, now, especially with social media, a lot of people will probably either suffer from this, or they look at others and they just focus on, I can't attain that. Whereas with you, you're freely giving advice to people and telling them, these are the steps. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Yeah, man. I say we should work on putting things into perspective. Like you have this body, and it's a matter of accepting what you have and try to build from there. It's
Yeah,
not gonna happen without working.
yeah,
But of course, they might see someone who's better than them. But I say that أحسن يكونوا inspired by them, not be judgmental.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly,
mean?
exactly. And
So
in your workouts, I noticed something that you do, especially with the recent posts that you have and stuff. You have very like intense reps or intense exercises, and recently you've been doing like the deadlifts, and
yeah,
and you're really working on those. Is that like, is that something that like, do you advise somebody to target that? that level that you are working to, or is for example another challenge is better, or is aerobics a viable option?
I say you should work on every component. I say you have to have flexibility, strength, quickness, explosive. So it's a different factors that you have to work on in order for you to improve. And like everyone can be an athlete, man. Everyone can be an athlete. You just have to work on pushing your limits each time. Like you start by lifting 10 kilograms deadlift, and then you progress.
Yeah. And that actually brings me to a very interesting question that I have for you as Chris. You know, moving away from the type of workouts, moving away from this kind of very focused like discussion, but for you, like as Chris, like apart from all the tragedies that happened to Lebanon recently, and you were discussing how you want to aim for the Tokyo Olympics, already without the issues that Lebanon faces, it's already difficult to be an athlete in Lebanon. So,
Sure.
so what are the challenges? So before we go to the Olympics, what are the challenges that you face as an athlete in Lebanon?
Yeah, man, it's tough to be an athlete here in Lebanon. Like we don't have enough financial support apart from physiotherapy, recovery, and you have to work to earn money. And like I'm a personal trainer and an athlete at the same time. So when you want to be an elite athlete and compete with international athletes, professional athletes, uh, you have to take it more seriously. Like focus on one thing, like tunnel vision, and work on your nutrition, your everything, man, everything combined. And we don't have it here in Lebanon. Like we don't. It's mostly personal effort. It's mostly personal effort. We have the
And
talent.
yeah, yes, definitely there's talent. But do you think that this the lack of, for example, financial support, the lack of the physiotherapy support, do you think also there's a lack of a actual support system from, I don't know, I'm just asking here, maybe from coaches, or there should be more people around you that are saying, this is attainable, going to the Olympics, this is attainable. This, do you feel this is also lacking in Lebanon, or is that there? Because you live there, I don't.
It is. Yeah, it is a bit lacking because, as I said, man, you might start with a coach that might take you to a certain level, but let's say you want to work on qualifying to the Olympics. All right, like you need someone who is more professional, who has more experiences, and man, the most important thing is the financial thing. Like you need the continuous support and attention.
Yeah. And so coming to the Olympics, actually, I realize, obviously it's very unfortunate that it got postponed, and all these issues that have happened because of the pandemic and all that. But you said you're preparing for it. So what type of what's the type of preparation that you go through for that? And I'm talking about physical and like mental preparation, definitely.
Yeah, it's everything. Like you, as sprinters, we go through periods and phases through the years. So we devise the year to month. Like let's say if I work for 1 month general preparation, I work on my endurance, my aerobic capacity, and then I start working more specifically on my start, my speed endurance. So there's specific stuff, details, small details that I try to work on, and technical stuff. That's when you start to reach your limits, you have to work on these small details, like everything from nutrition, recovery, everything, man. And so it's a whole circle.
Yeah, and
It's a
and
whole circle.
is so I know I'm not a big like I'm not like a big gym person, but I know that food is super important. Like it's
It is,
it's
man.
uh, super important. How do you fit that within your Olympics training routine, like the food part?
uh, I gotta admit that the food part I'm lacking a bit in this factor. because it costs a lot to prepare your food and to calculate the calories that you want to eat. So yeah, that's why I said the financial support
Yeah.
should be a priority.
Well, I know like this is probably not the best example, but I know I've seen it online, and like somebody like Michael Phelps eats like thousands of calories because he burns so much.
Yeah,
Is that a myth, or is this true?
I say, man, it might have worked for him, but
Hmm.
it might not work like for me or anyone else. It's something. Maybe a personal preference. It worked for him, but I don't believe that he used to eat every day this amount of. Yeah, you need healthy food. You can't just eat McDonald's, man, and you need the good stuff, the good fat, the certain amount percentage of protein in a day, carbs and fat. So I don't think, man, you can just eat fries and cola and
Yeah, yeah,
burger.
of course. I think from the mental side, I think almost, let's say, all the athletes in your position who are training for the Olympics, for example, you especially like now that you said you're looking towards competing there. There is this big thing that you know I think about, and we, for example, as viewers of the Olympics, you watch it and you say, oh, this guy lost, this guy was 15th place, or he was 12th place, and this thing happens once every 4 years, and for us as viewers we brush it off like, oh, he lost or something, or
Mm.
that person is in silver, at least he got silver. So as us, like people watching, we don't understand um, the mental toll, or the type of the physical toll, or all the effort that an athlete goes through. So how do you put yourself, as someone training for the Olympics, how do you put yourself in the position where you're going to go to a competition like this, and you literally have a very slim chance of winning, and then if you fail you have to wait for another 4 years?
Uh, like, I'm gonna be honest, man. For us Lebanese, it's enough for us to qualify only to the Olympics. Like, I don't even think of like get a podium or even
Yeah,
qualify to the final or semi-final, man. For me, just to qualify or to be able to be a part of this competition, it's a huge achievement for me. And when I go, no matter what competition, Lebanese competition, anything, any meeting, I go there with the mentality that I want to improve, give my best, and try to do a personal best, like run better time than before. But sometimes it doesn't work. Like when like 2 or 3 years ago, it used to get in my head when I lose. I'm so competitive.
hmm,
I'm a competitive guy, and I used to hate losing, man. Like, why did this happen? But you learn a lot, man. You get the feedback that you want. Uh, it's all a mental game. It's all in your head. Eventually,
and
it's
and
all in your head.
and and when you lost, like what was the thought process? How did you get back to saying, or how did you learn from that? Did you just uh, did you accept it and you moved on, or did you learn a few things and you're implementing them now?
At first, yes, I was so sad, man. Like, I used to attach winning and losing to my self-worth. If I lost, like, what am I doing? Why am I losing? But then I start to ask myself some questions. Like, it's all about self-talk, man. How you talk to yourself and the thought patterns that you have in your head. Uh, I get myself out of it with time, of course, and I kept training. You just have to keep pushing, keep going. You don't know what the future holds.
With Do you think that the self-talk is more important? I mean, you might say yes, but is the self-talk more important than, for example, somebody with you training telling you certain things? Like, do you always put your perspective first, or is the trainer also on the same level or more?
Uh, It's both, man. It's both. You need them both. That's why you need a coach to supervise what you're doing, how you're training, and sometimes you can't see what's happening. You need someone to from the outside to tell you.
And do you like, do you have that type of support system with you, around you? I know we discussed it, but do you have people around you that you feel okay, you can rely on these people? Are they people you can take with you, let's say, to the Olympics, for example?
Yeah, I have a good relationship with my coach and the head of the club. So like they take good care of me as much as they can. But yes, I can rely on them. But at
Yeah,
the same time, it's tough. It's still tough, but
yeah,
it's worth it, of course.
of course. Um, so I have another question, and this is I'll take it to myself and about other people. Is like, for example, me, I'm not an active gym person. So I like sports, football, volleyball, that type of sports. Like, I would be more enticed to go play a sport rather than go to the gym. If you were to convince
Okay.
me, like, what would you say to convince me to go to the gym?
Uh, the first question I would ask you, like, why do you prefer going outdoors? Why do you
Mhm.
prefer playing different sports, not going to the gym?
I think, for me, it's more about the active aspect of it, playing with others, being able to, when you play football, you always have that rush. Oh, I might score a nice goal, or I might
Mm-mm.
do a nice play. I get that rush. I like that rush as well.
Mm.
And especially, like, I play like mini football, so the chances for goals are higher. So you always have that chance, and you get
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do some nice plays and that kind of stuff. And for example, with volleyball, it's also nice. I like the moment of maybe blocking a shot or doing a nice serve.
Mm.
So this is what encourages me. But I think with the gym, it's difficult. It's like, it's not that I wouldn't do it, but I feel it's like, there's a certain structure that I have to follow, and
Yeah, yeah.
there's ways you need to do the certain workouts, and if you do it wrong, you might actually end up building your muscle in the wrong way. And to be very
Mm.
honest with you, I'm not actually very well experienced with that. So maybe there's somebody like me might be thinking the same thing. That's why they
Yeah,
might
yeah.
not go to the gym. So that's how I would answer your question.
Yeah, that's why you need a personal trainer maybe at first to to talk to you about the exercise, how you can do it, how you can perform better. And man, sometimes people are afraid to go to the gym or doing some exercise alone, and they have to experience it first. For example, you would like to play football or you like to play basketball. The gym can help you perform better in the outdoor activities. Like in the gym, you can work on the explosive aspect, more agility for injury preventions. There's a lot of injuries that can happen playing football, ACLs in the knees and shoulder stuff, anything. So the gym can help you to improve. You don't have to train as a bodybuilder. Like training as a
Mhm.
bodybuilder, it's a bit boring. Like there's this structure, this exercise, biceps and isolation. When you do different kind of and variations and variables in training, it's gonna be different. Some jumps, some explosive stuff. So it
And
can be a lot
yeah,
different for you.
yeah. And I like the way you put it. So I think with variation, maybe to at least keep it more exciting, because I think also people have, maybe whether it's Lebanon or in general, people have, and that's leading to my next question. But they have a stereotype that gym is all about bodybuilding. It's all about. I know that the landscape has shifted so much. So
Mm-mm.
now there's
It is
CrossFit.
changing.
Yeah, there's CrossFit. There's aerobics, and this notion of bodybuilding has, we're talking about something that has long gone. It's gone. It's all
Yeah.
about free weights, aerobics, body weight, and stuff. Um, Going to you as a personal trainer, how do you train someone, for example, just just starting out?
I start by assessing how they move, how their body behaves. I try to identify some movement deficiencies. Maybe they lack in some area. So I start with the basics. I try to build the foundation. And there's the mental aspect of it. I try to see how the other person view working out. And with time, they're gonna adapt, man. It's all about adaptation, how you adapt.
Yeah, yeah, and
Once you build a good foundation, you're ready to go. You're ready to train alone. It's like everything, man. It's not only the gym.
yeah,
You can learn
correct,
anything.
correct. And as a personal trainer, um, do you think people have certain stereotypes about personal trainers? Like people think they are, you know, stereotypes, and I want you to, discuss that or break the stereotype now.
Uh, Maybe here in Lebanon, people talk a lot about that. There's a huge number of personal trainers right now, and there's a lot of personal trainers who's not that competent. They just want to look good and look buffed and this. And it's for me personally, it's fitness. It's complex, man. There's too many factors, like the psychological factor, and it's all about moving well, man. It's not only about how do you look, you know. It's all about learning the right technique, the right movement.
I think that's what you said about the movement and these people just, for example, personal trainers just looking good, and
Sure.
is there a way, for example, maybe you can, through your insight, you can give advice on how someone can know whether their personal trainer is right or not? Is there a way to kind of find that out without even telling the personal trainer?
It's a bit hard sometimes for people to judge if the person, man. Sometimes these person trainers know how to convince and to
Mm-hmm.
sell the idea,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and some clients don't know how to like to identify
Yeah.
the right stuff from the wrong stuff. And I actually hear my clients like talk some stuff and ask me some questions, man. I start to laugh. Like I don't want, like sometimes some clients tell me I don't want to carry weights, load of weights. I don't want to go big. I don't like this kind of stuff. Like
Yeah.
what's wrong with that? You're getting stronger.
Yeah.
They have some fear.
Prejudices. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fear.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what the fitness industry is lacking here in Lebanon. We need more competent personal trainers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then to close this off, what's the best advice you would give to someone who wants to improve their body?
Uh, Man, I say start from zero, from scratch, and at the end of the day, you're gonna see the results. Whether you're training alone or with a personal trainer, uh, focus on improving and keep going, keep pushing the limits.
Awesome. Awesome. So I have two final questions for you, Chris. Uh,
Sure, man.
and I want to move away from workouts with this one. You as Chris, let's talk about Chris a bit. Away from workouts and everything, do you have other hobbies that that you kind of balance your intense athlete life? Do you have other hobbies?
Uh, I don't have a lot of hobbies. Mainly, I'm all about sports, man.
Okay.
I'm all about sports. Like I do other things than sprinting. I do powerlifting, and but mainly it's all about sports.
Yeah.
But I read a lot of. I like to read stuff concerning the
Mhm.
physiology of the body, the anatomy, what's happening inside the body. I'm
Yeah.
interested in these stuff.
And have you considered maybe at some point, maybe giving talks about, this type of subject, explaining to people how, workouts is not about just lifting weights, but it's about understanding your body? Have you ever considered being like someone who
Yeah,
can speak about this?
sure, man. It's in my plans. In the future, of course, I'm gonna be working on that subject. After all, it's all about making people more aware how to train and what to avoid doing, and deleting these stereotypes that spreads between the people, because they start to believe them and it becomes like fears.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. So, my final question to you, Chris, and it's in some way, related to the show, is: do you seek fame in, as an athlete? Do you seek fame? And it's okay to say yes. I mean,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like fame is good, but as long as you're happy and confident, you're happy with yourself, you're confident, it's not gonna matter for me, honestly. It's really for me, it's really about getting better, working on yourself. That's what motivates me to keep going. Like fame, it might go away, man. It's all about the skills that you acquire through the journey. But yeah, fame, of course, I would like to be more known, more popular, like each individual, I think.
yeah. And do you agree with the name of the show?
Yeah, man. That's the best thing of the show.
Awesome, buddy.
Nobody's famous.
Yeah, it's true. Well, Chris, I want to say thank you so much for coming on to the show. It's been an awesome one with you. Do you have a question for me?
I think you better start working out after this podcast, man. I'm gonna send you a bunch of workouts and.
Awesome. I mean, I have the whole episode, for reference, so I can always check. Oh, Chris said this. I can always check that. It's awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you for your questions. Really, really great questions, and thank you for having me. It was really nice conversation.
Thank you, Chris. Well, I'm gonna sign us off now. I want to say thank you again for being with us on the Nobody's Famous podcast. Make sure, guys, you check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Anghami, wherever you get your podcasts, and you can watch us on YouTube. You can watch the episode with the one and only Chris. Any last words, Chris?
Thank you, man. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Catch us on the next one on the Nobody's Famous podcast.